So Second Ranger Battalion's jumping in. The unit's there too. Eventually, that I go there, but
The
they're getting
Kurt Muse.
yeah, yeah, and so everybody's doing that whole night. It's pretty busy, right? And we're just watching the show. We can see all the firefighting going on, and so the air base that you're at, it's separated by river, roadways and stuff like that. So there's whoever's on that side of the airbase, that's kind of what we're only worried about. We're not really too concerned about things. um, but we can see it happening, right across the street, literally. And but we have to wait there all day. And and but luckily for us, though, we were able to do that. And then it's kind of like back in the stories of World War II, right? 82nd jumps in and they're waiting for the ground forces to move in so they could be relieved, right? So kind of that's what we're doing. And we finally get there the next night and we split up Panama City. We had the jungle side of Panama City, then from the city out to the coast, 82nd Airborne had the other half. And basic combat recon patrols, chasing guys, raids and ambushes and blocking positions and normal infantry stuff.
Well, and that's what I'm really curious about. What type of resistance were Noriega's men able to put up? I mean, were they skilled fighters? Did they have the ability to really push back, or once the Americans rolled in, did they just start getting crushed?
Yeah, so initially they left the city. So if they fought their way out of the city. Different story for all the folks in Rio Hatta and all that stuff. That's Second Ranger Battalion and all the other folks scattered around Panama. But sporadic, I guess, gunfights going on, and the Battalion 2000, the Noriega's army, left the city and was regrouping to come back in to take the city when we get on the ground. And so that night they leave, and the next night they're getting ready to come back. So all we saw was sporadic, gunfighting going on. So they'll be sympathizers or what, I don't know, just normal citizens, really. I call them sympathizers, but they're on the Noriega side of things and in their thought process. So individuals, which is a little problematic. We had moving into position one night, the night we get there. Uh, when I'm told, okay, okay, Sergeant Force, I'm going to give you some more guys. I'm going to give you another machine gun team, and because the road to your front is the main road that they're coming back through into the city. And I was like, okay, all right, well, I that. Let's do it. I got more machine guns, I got more guys, I got more rockets, I got more guns and everything. And so when we were sealing off this whole area that we were at, we're taking apart literally this uh, a fence, or I guess it was a decorative kind of a wall, right? They have these little concrete blocks that they just stack, and then they make the perimeter of their backyards and all that stuff. So we're putting that on the road, making obstacles for vehicles and stuff like that. In order to do that behind us, that's when we were getting shot at. And when we crossed the street, I was trying to block off this one street behind us and just put debris, whatever debris we can get, and put it in the roadway so nobody can come behind us. And we crossed the road once, crossed the road twice, and by the third time, I hear gunshots, and not close, not accurate. It's like a snapping sound you hear when it's passing by, right? And I heard it, and I was like, ducked down and moved over to the roadway out of the street. And I didn't see where it came from. I just heard it. And I was on one side of the road, and where I come from was my other guys. So I ran back across the street, heard it again, little snap sound, and two snaps. I was like, okay. And then I get an idea where it's coming from, and I still got to get this blocking position in. So I told the guys, the guys. So it flashed forward to the movie Black Hawk Down, where that one kid's like, "Hey, they're shooting at us, right?" And the Colonel McKnight character says, "Well, shoot back." same shit happened, right? And so I get back to my guys, I hit the dirt beside them, and they're like, "Did you hear that?" I was like, "Yes, I heard that. Did you see him? And why didn't you shoot back?" Right? I was expecting them to start shooting. Um, that's it. They couldn't see him where it came from either, and it's pitch black. So at the actual intersection, there's this one street light, and that was it. As soon as you left and that's kind of typical in Panama, just the jungle environment. As soon as you leave any illuminated area, I mean, real quickly it goes pitch black. And I ended up doing that a couple times because the barricade needed to be built. And every time we crossed the road, you hear the couple snaps, and uh, and I kept telling my guys on the ground, it's like, okay, pay attention up there, pay attention down the road, up on the hill. That's where the shots are coming from, and because we got to get this done. So I'm dragging stuff out there, and another guy's, one of my guys was with me, um, just dumping stuff off really quick, and then running back, and then went to three, let's go again. And we did that till we would block the road. And but never found that dude, never shot at him. I guess I personally didn't stop and try to shoot. I made it my last attempt when I dropped the last bear. It was like a 55 gallon drum. I put it out in the middle of the road, and I've done that 5 or 6 times doing this, right? And so I stopped in the middle of the road, right underneath the street light. And the snaps, you could tell when they're how close they are, and um, just by the sound of the crack, right? And it was it's like, okay, I'm standing right here. You missed me 6 times. I was standing right there, and I look up to the hill. I was like, all right, I put my hands out and my arms out. I was like, all right, what? I was like, you guys see anybody? I'm trying to highlight this dude so that my guys could shoot him. And they're like, I can't see anything. And Sergeant P, as they all call me Sergeant P instead of Sergeant Porras, can't see anything. So I was like, all right. Then I ran off the road and just called it a night at that point, and then messed with the other side. But yeah, that was the first thing. And raiding and clearing the rooms and the houses that were around us to make sure everything in our little area was secure. That was what took up most of the rest of the our first night there. And then so the Battalion 2000 that's supposed to be coming back, we're on this it's a four-way intersection, and we got it all blocked off the best we can with what we had on the ground, and a couple of Humvees dropped off some equipment for us, concertina wire and all that kind of stuff. And so when they're supposed to come up, well, so that whole night, we can hear the AC-130, the Spectre gunship. We can see the airplane, and he's not too far away, and he's hammering somebody down the street, down the road. And we thought, just based off looking at maps and stuff, that okay, hopefully they're, I guess they're hitting the Battalion 2000 that is supposed to come down that road. And sure enough, they were. We didn't find that out till later, but they were just hammering whoever was down that road. And we're like, wow, I hope they minimize them enough that they're not coming down this road anymore, right? And that's exactly what happened. And then that whole night was just anticipation of meeting that army coming down the road, and we were pretty ready. We had enough, I think, uh, rockets and claymores. We had the whole road just rigged with all kinds of stuff. Um, so we were ready. They never came. But coming down that road is when I first meet the unit guys for the first time. And so I had that whole road blocked off. So there's cars stopped. And for the people who are stopped, I said, they're just not obstacles for the Battalion 2000. So get out of your cars. I don't care what you're doing. Just get out of your cars and leave them, park them. And so I just kind of used that as a means to block the road, or additional means to block the road. And one of my guys calls me from the sun's coming up, and one of my guys calls me to this position. He's down the road a little bit, and he's talking to somebody, and I can see him talking to some guys in a panel van, and he radio squawking. I need you to come down here. I was like, okay, I'll be there in a sec. Get down there. There's these two Hispanic guys in the front, and it's a panel van with no windows. It's a white panel van, and I see the guys as I'm walking toward it. I see the two guys. They're Hispanic. It could be battalion 2000 Panamanians. I don't know. Um, and not in uniforms or anything like that. And I asked them what they're doing. They said, "Hey, Sergeant." They recognized, "Hey, Sergeant, we need to get to the um, Papal Nuncio or something like that." It was either the Papal Nuncio or the Comandancia still. I'm not sure which one now, but and we need to get through here. And I had already just trashed this whole road. I just trashed it with all these cars and claymores and stuff. I was like, and I said, well, don't get off the road because we've mined the whole side walls and the shoulders and all that stuff. So so let me clear the road and let you guys through. And the only reason, and it was like, well, what are you doing? Who are you with? What's in the back? Do you have any guns and ammo? And yes, there's a whoever was down the road, and I'm guessing now they were the guys who are directing fires on the AC 130 down the street all night. And now they have to get in town. Almost positive Noriega was at the Papal Nuncio at that point, but they had to get back in town. And so parted the waters, um, got everybody out of the way. They uh, went to wherever they were going. And later on, I mean, almost a year later, it wasn't that long after that. When I go to selection, they kept asking me that. They're like, "Hey, were you in Panama?" It's like, yes. They're like, "Hey, you're that guy at the blocking position." And then they're messing with me because the helicopter got shot down with Muse in it. Um, they were saying that was a whole nother unit in another part of town, but they said, "Hey, you're the one who shot us down." I'm like, "No, I wasn't that guy. I was on the other side of town. I met your other dudes in the panel van. That was me." Um, and no, we didn't get shot at. We didn't shoot at you, or you guys are good.
When you stopped him in the van, did you look back in to see how many people they had in the van, or could you only see the two people sitting up front?
Yeah, no, so I had to look, right? I was like, I gotta look. Just if you're legit, I gotta look. So open so me and my guy Smitty, he's the guy who called me down there. He's like a E4 203 gunner. And so whatever I don't know what I was expecting to see either, right? So it's like, okay, yes, we do have guns and we do have guys in the back. Okay, so I got to see just to make sure you guys are legit. And so we do this little thing where it's like a clearing vehicles, basic infantry stuff, right? Somebody's going to get the door. I'm going to get my rifle up and check the back. And just like going through a room, going through a door. And sure enough, door opens, and here I'm being face to face with unit guys, you know, uh, and so I easily recognize who it is because of the American flags and their uniforms and stuff like that. And it was one of those things where it's almost like I was at a loss for what to do, what to say, and just like shut the door. And it's like, okay, you guys are good. My apologies.
What did the guys in the back of the van do when they saw you? Were they just staring at you?
Oh yeah. So yeah, but they were ready to like, who is this guy? And when I deal with that now, well, later on when I'm in Iraq and Afghanistan, that is that is a tense moment when you're friendly, but you're not dressed like everybody, and you have these soldiers on the ground who are just ready to go. I mean, they're ready to shoot at anything, right? And that later on in my career, that becomes, reality to me. And it's like that is the worst feeling in the world. One, to have a gun pointed at you, but to have a jacked up army dude who's ready to start killing anything. Just self-preservation, right? But yeah, they were ready, just like I was. And it was like, okay, well, I guess you guys are guess you guys are good.